Welcome to part 4 of Competency 15. In this video, we will work with estimation and prediction. Number 1, write and use a linear equation that best fits the data in the table below to predict the value of y when x equals 9. Okay, what we need to do is enter the data into our calculator and then use stat. Okay, so remember, if you already have it populated, push data again, arrow up, number 4 will clear everything. Okay, so we have to enter x in L1 and y will be in L2. Okay, all right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, that's not what I want. 5, 6, and then end at 7. Now, do the right arrow, okay, and we have 1.5, 3.8, 6.7, and 9. You don't need the 0, 0.0, it's not necessary. 11.2, 13.6, and then 16. Okay, and that should populate correctly. Okay, now I have warned about going into your stat while you have a cell highlighted. It's touch and go. Sometimes it will pop me out and work for me. Other times I realize what I've done. It's like populating what everything I've done inside the cell, which is obviously not what we wish to do. So, because you can put little expressions into uh, the cell in cells, especially if you want to work with the whole list. Okay, if you've done that before, if you watched other videos with me, we don't want to do that. Okay, all right, so let's go second mode to back out. Now second data gets us a stat. We want 2 vars because we are not working with a frequency table here. We are actually working with the values of x and y. Okay, now let's push enter. And the reason I say that is because we want uh, a linear equation. So we want an A and a B. Okay. And in this case, A is the slope. A equals M, which is the slope. Okay. So our X is in L1, but we need to go down and over the highlight L2 because our information is in L1 and L2. Now push enter. Now you can arrow up or down. Yeah, I'm going to go up. And that will get me A and B. A is equal to your slope M, okay? So that should be in front of your X, your variable X, and you're going to have to round a little. So let's see. A is not an option because it's not in front of the X. So get rid of that. Wrong value in front of the X for B. Let's see, C, it looks rounded correctly and it's in front of the X. So I'm going to say possibly, but it's going to have to be because look at what D gave us. So that is not an option, but we still need to check. Let's see. We have a negative rounded value for our B value, which is correct and it is negative. So there you go. That's good. Now, this is what we need to do. We need to take this rounded expression, or it's actually a full equation. Take this and put it into the calculator and see what value we get. If it's the same value, then we're good to go. So let's take a look here. So let's go second mode, back all the way out, push table, clear everything out that you have in there, and let's put what we have here. 2.14 4143. I said it wrong. And then let's push X. Now minus 0.829. Okay. And push enter. I'm not going to use any of that. So don't worry if it's a 0, but you do want steps of 1. Okay. Yeah, we just need to leave it as steps one because what we're going to do is use the ask option. Okay, so push enter and enter again. Now, this is not a list. Notice you have X and Y. You need to delete out, arrow and delete, arrow down and delete everything that's in your X, okay? So I want X equals 9. So 9, enter, and there you go. Yes, we do have an appropriately rounded value of 20.9. So C is definitely the option that we want. Okay, let's look at number 2. Let's see here. Okay. A statistician is conducting an experiment. He rolls a die 1,800 times, and the result to the data of each outcome is as follows. So basically, they've recorded it in the table. And the question is find, or rather, the request is find the linear expression for the model. So, what are we going to do? Well, first I'm going to clear all of my options out. You can rewind the video if you want to see what I had prior. Okay, and then I'm going to go second mode to back out of everything. I need to enter those items in my list, so I push data. Okay, I have 1 to 7 entered, so this is what you do. You go up, see that? And I go up again, push delete to get rid of it. Now we're going to push data. We want to clear out just L2 because we want to do the same thing we had before. We have L1 here, but we only have 1 to 6. And then L2 needs to be cleared and re-entered. So I'm going to push number 2 to clear that. And there you go. And it pops me right to it. And I can start entering 1, 2, 0, enter 140, 250. And then with 4450. And then with number 5, we have 300. Okay. And then 450. I mean, 54. Whoa. 540. Whoa. I said that completely wrong. Okay. There we go. Now we have it correctly. The correct item. Okay. So what do? We back out second mode. Okay. Just get all the way out. Now go second data. And we want 2 variable stats, which is what we have here. Okay. Now push enter. And we have populated L1 and L2, which is correct. Let's go down and enter that. I'm going to arrow up until we get to our A and B. And there we go. 79 point, kind of a round of that should be in front of the X. So for B, I have 79.43. I like this. Okay, obviously A is not what I want. I don't like C because they put a negative there. So I'm not going to go with that. And again, if you look at C and D, you got to be kidding me. Aren't they the same thing? Okay, I'm going to say they're the same. Yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll just mark through those. And yes, B should be 22. I mean, my B value, that is 22. And the option B is what we need to select. Okay. All right, so let's try number 3. Number 3. An educational statistician is creating a linear model for predicting using the following data. Student A had a final exam grade of 80 and received a course grade of 85. Student B had a final exam grade of 75 and received a course grade of 82. What is the linear equation that best fits the given information? Okay, so what do? We create a list again. So go here, push it again. I'm just going to clear everything out. So I cleared everything out of the first one instead of all of it. Doesn't matter. Just push it again and just clear one. Doesn't matter how you do it. You can push each of them one at a time, whatever you need to do. Okay, so I am going to put the first bit of information in L1, and then the second for the course grade in L2. All you need is 2 points to create a line. Okay, so 80, all right, and 75. Okay, now just arrow over and it goes where you want it to. So 85 first and then 82. Okay, good. Now second mode, then second data. And this is two vars, two variable. Okay, this is not a frequency table. This is 2 points of information. Okay, so enter, and we have populated the correct ones, L1 and L2. So keep going till you enter. And then arrow up is probably the quickest. You can arrow down too. Okay, we need a positive 0.6 in front of the X. So that is A. However, you have a negative for the B value. Okay, and that isn't sufficient. Or rather, it's incorrect. Okay, so let's get rid of A. I don't like B. Okay, hang on, let's see here. I can't write. Move that so I can write. Okay, move things around. All right, so A won't work. The B value is incorrect right here on B. Let's see. We have the wrong slope in front of the X. Let's see. D. The B value is a positive 37. Check. And a positive 0.6 in front of the X, which would be your slope. And option D would be what we choose. Okay. All right. So let's go down. Okay. And let's talk about number 4. The temperature at which a person perspires is a function of their weight. Sharon weighs 120 pounds and she perspires at a temperature of 83 degrees. Jim weighs 200 pounds and he perspires at a temperature of 76 degrees. Find the linear equation for this model. Okay, so I'm just going to back out and then push my data. And I'm going to go ahead and clear everything out because I want you to see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, no questions. So I am going to put pounds in L1 and Sharon will be first. And then L2 will be my temperature. Okay. All right. So we have 120, enter, 200, enter, go over. Okay. Sharon, she is 83 degrees, enter, and then 76 degrees for Jim. Okay, so now second mode and then second data. And we want 2 variable stats. Go to that and enter. And we are in L1, L2, which we know is correct because we cleared everything out to begin with. Okay, so I'm going to go to calculation, arrow up to get my A and my B. Okay, my A should be I shouldn't have to round, okay? At least it's a terminating value, but it's negative. So make sure that your slope in front of your x is a negative value. Well, that eliminates A, and that eliminates B. And look here, that eliminates D. So I have C left. Well, let's double check my B value. 93.5. Absolutely. So option C is what we're looking for. Now let's look at number 5. If a standard football field is about 57,600 square feet, given that an average square foot of lawn can contain anywhere from 3,000 to 200,000 blades of grass. What is the approximate number of blades of grass on a football field? Okay, so this is going to be a range. Okay, so what we do is first we multiply here. I'm going to change colors and then the larger value we multiply, and that will create our range. So we're trying to multiply and get a prediction, but look at your A, B, C, D answers. Okay, what they're trying to do here is get you to understand or show that you understand how to use your values, okay? That you know your place values, okay? So let's clear everything out. Okay, again, if you need to see the buttons I push, you can always rewind the video. So second clear. Okay, so let's put in what we need to multiply first. So 57600, okay, times the 3000. Okay, now let's look at what we have. Okay, we've got, well, I'm going to say A maybe, B maybe, C maybe. Okay, but it's the difference between millions and billions. But just hang tight and let's not make a conclusion rather, or choose anything until we calculate the other value. Okay, so now let me get rid of C. I mean, there's no way that C is correct. Look at the numbers I have. 1728. No, not going to work. Okay, now let's type in the next one. Okay, 57600 times the 200,000. So 2 and 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is correct. All right, and press enter. Okay, here's the dealio. Let's look at what we have as an option. Every single one of those is the same for A, B, and D, and they are in billions. Okay, so what this means is that you would move over, okay, you'd have to move over the decimal to the right one place value, and then you would have 9 zeros, okay? Well, that's the difference between millions and billions, okay? So if you're not comfortable with this, let me show you what it would be. Okay, 1, 5, 2. And then they're saying or even so, I would need, if I had my decimal here, they're saying I'd need 10 places. Oh, and earlier I said 9 zeros. No, it's not 9 zeros. It would be enough zeros to create 9 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I put it after, so that would be 10. Okay, so we need to compare this. So let me put some commas. Let's see, there'd be a comma here. There would be a comma here. Okay, so our options have put a decimal right here. Now that would make sense. Okay, so all of those, if you look at that, that kind of makes sense. But let's go ahead and write out the first one. So we have a comparison. The difference between millions and billions. Wait a second. But they're saying billions on D. Ooh, we have to figure this out. Okay, so we have 1, 7, 2, 8, and then you have 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we would have a comma here and a comma there. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. This right here, let me change this. If we put the decimal here, that would be our million, okay, not billions. Because if you said billion, then look at where your your decimal just wouldn't be right. If we had billions, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 decimal spaces where they have it. Okay, so we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's off the charts. That doesn't even make sense. So obviously they're both are not going to be presented in billions because the first one cannot be. That's the glitch here. Okay, that's the little fly in the ointment. So let's get rid of D. Okay, now let's look at where I have my arrow. Well, that tells me that option A is our only valid option. Okay, because millions would not be two decimal places over. Okay, that would be incorrect. Okay, it's not what we're looking for. All right, so I'm going to erase that. Okay, all right, so let's go with option A. And this is actually the last question in this video. I wanted to thank everyone for liking, subscribing, just watching and watching a video to the end. Kudos to you. And don't forget about sharing, okay? Subscribing. Okay, absolutely subscribing. Thank you guys. You're keeping the videos coming. We see that support and engagement. Okay? All right, guys, I wish everyone the best and happy testing.